Good morning. Good morning. Today is an actual holiday today, and it's to recognize the Indigenous peoples. And it's a very, very special day, and I don't want to dwell on it. Means a lot to me. So today I decided to come live anyway to talk about our template number 3. So I've been doing weekly live sessions for the templates that you will find in the annual catalog. And there's a series of templates to give you ideas of how to do a card layout. And so we've got template number 3 today. It's a very, very simple card. It's a card that I have made. It's a template that I've made numerous times. I kind of call it a panel card, because you put these strips of designer series paper in panels across. It can be random DSP, or it can be DSP that when you cut it, it creates a pattern across the card. It's a great layout for either a portrait style or a landscape style type card. So I have a card that I made just to show you what it looks like in its simplest form. Of course, you can always dress things up, which I typically do because I'm an avid stamper and I believe more is great. So this is the card that I created. It's just really, really simple. This is on a misty moonlight background. And this paper came out last year in the holiday catalog, and Stampin Up decided to carry it forward. They don't usually do that, but maybe they, I don't know, accidentally ordered more than they needed or more than they forecast. And so it's called Winter Meadow. It's a beautiful set of papers in blues and greens, and it's still available. At least I believe it's still available. It may even be on the clearance rack. I don't know, but it's called Winter Meadow. It's 12 by 12 paper. So this, there was a stamp set that coordinated with it, but that retired. The paper did not retire, but the stamp set retired. But I decided to pair it with Forever Forest. This also was in the holiday catalog last year, and Stampin' Up decided to carry it forward. So it's a beautiful set of trees, and there's a set of dies that comes with it. So I decided to pair this paper with this stamp set so I can still use the paper. And this stamp set, of course, has got lots of trees in it. So this is the card that I made. So I'm going to turn my camera down so that you can see the template that I'm working on. So let me just add this to stage and make it the forecast, or the forward. What's the word I'm looking for? It's the focal point, I guess. And I'm just going to see if I can zoom in a bit. There we go. Okay. So when I create this little document here, I use my snipping tool on my computer, and I snip a picture right from the catalog, the online catalog, and then I put it here. So it's really, really simple. It's just a simple card base. And then it's got these 3 strips of paper that measure 5 by 1 1/8. And then the focal is whatever you want. It could be just a die cut, or it could be a circle. So as you can see in here, I've just done the 3 strips of paper. Now it was interesting to see, this is 5 inches, but when you look at the template, there seems to be a lot more space top and bottom. So maybe this is an incorrect measurement, but you can make the strips as long and as wide as you want. It's totally up to you. So if you were doing this horizontal, you could maybe do 4 or 5 strips across. But for this particular layout, it's 5 inches by 1 1/8 inches. And then you just find the center point. Now, what I find really, really handy is our grid sheets here. These are our grid sheets, and I still really like to use them. I've got it on my glass board here, but I love this center line here and this center line here. So to find the center of this card, you know, I just put it here like this. And then you count from the center. You can count out and make sure that it's centered. So it happens to be between 2 quarter blocks here. And then you can just line it up, and then you can visually see where I always start with the center strip. Put that on first and then do the left and the right strip. The greeting I took from this stamp set here. This is an online set. I think it's still there. It's called Throughout the Year. So it's got some great greetings. It's got birthdays. It's got Valentine's. It's got Halloween trick or treat. Cheers to you in the new year. Happy Easter. Happy holidays. So you've got 2 Christmas related greetings, and a best of luck for someone who perhaps got a new job. Yeah, and it's got a thank you, and you mean so much to me. So you could do this for Valentine's too. So it's a great little set. So that's what I put on here. So this card is as simple can be. It's a card base, 3 strips of paper, and a greeting in its simplest form. So we're going to make it again, but we're going to maybe dress it up a little bit more. And so for the next card, I have decided to use this Sweetest Star. This is in our holiday mini catalog called Sweetest Star. Now, I would show you my catalog, but yesterday I kind of had a little accident. I mean, I bring coffee and tea to my craft desk all the time. And every time I bring it, I go, okay, let's not knock it over or spill it. And I've been really, really good. Anyway, I don't know what happened yesterday. And luckily Phil was in the kitchen, and all of a sudden, I think my pinky caught the handle of the mug. So the mug, you see, I've got it here today. The mug was just sitting there, and I think I was, you know, cleaning up, and my pinky caught the handle and my cup of tea, and it was a full cup of tea. Luckily, only about quarter of it spilled out, but it went everywhere. And I had my catalog out, and the catalog got really soaked. So it's currently hanging up in my laundry room. I've kind of opened up a whole bunch of pages and clipped them into my little clip hanger, my clothes peg hanger over my sink. And it's drying. It's going to be really crispy when it's dry. So anyway, that's why I don't have the catalog right in front of me here. But this is called the Sweetest Star. And I wasn't very attracted to it at the beginning because I thought these things kind of looked a bit goofy. But then in the catalog, I saw how they made a star, like a wreath with all these stars around it. And I thought, okay, I can make a wreath. And I love the idea. And then, of course, I've seen projects made with it. And so it's just too cute. So we've got this star punch. Now, the star punch, of course, being a punch, it can be created. It can be used as a label. So you could stamp a greeting as long as it fits in the star and punch it out. So you can use it as a label as well. It doesn't have to have the gingerbread man. You've got a Santa and you've got Mrs. Claus here. But I love the font in this. So may your days be merry and bright. I think we'll use that on our card today. It's got a really nice snowflake stamp. So you could do this on your envelope in the corner or on the inside of the card, or you could create 4 of them in the corner of your card. It's got baking spirits bright. So if you do baking at Christmas and give it away to people, this would make a really adorable tag with baking spirits bright. And then you've got wishing you a holly jolly Christmas. Look at the font. It's really, really cool. So this is a photopolymer stamp set. You can see it's a virgin set. I haven't used it at all. And so today I think I'm going to use the Santa. We're going to put the Santa on as our focal point versus a greeting. So let's just get out a block for that. Okay. So the paper I decided to use today is from the snowman set, snowman and penguin set. So this is one of the sheets out of that paper pack, and I just thought that the holly leaves would be fun for this card. So the first thing I need to do is cut this down to get my strips. I decided to use a garden green as my card base. So I'm going to cut this down to 4. Whoops, 4 by 5 1/4. No, 4. I'm going to do 4, and then I'm going to go to 5. Actually, I'm going to go, yeah, I'll go 5 because the length is 5 inches. You could go shorter, like I said before. And then each of the strips is cut at 1 1/8. So 1 1/8, 1 1/8 here. So you want to keep your patterns in the right order so that when you put it on the card, the pattern continues. And then you end up with a really narrow strip that you could put on the inside of the card as well. So this is the strip that's left over. Okay, so those are my 3 strips. Okay, now the other thing that you could do, so say for example, you didn't like the look of the strips directly on your card base color, you could put another layer of, say, white cardstock underneath it, or in this case, I could even do the Poppy Parade so that the strips maybe stand out a little bit better. So that's another option. And the fun option about that is that if you mount the strips on a separate layer, you could then run it through your embossing folder and give it some texture. So that's another thing you can do. So these 3 strips will just sit on here like this. So if you're thinking, oh, I don't really like that on the green, I think the color underneath this might be Pool Party. So you could put a layer of Pool Party on there, or I could just do another layer of white. Let me just pull out. I happen to have a 4 by 5 1/4 inch layer here. So I could put that on there, and then I could put my strips. So you got a little bit of border top and bottom. Oops, I think I've already screwed up my pattern. Oh dear, I've screwed up my pattern, you guys. See if I can figure it out. See the importance of keeping it in order? There we go. Okay, I've got it back together again. So what do you think? Do you think I should put it? Oh, good morning, Carol and Carol. How are you girls? You enjoying your weekend so far? So what do you think? I think I'm going to mount it on the white. It just kind of brightens it up a little bit. Might look interesting on the Pool Party too, which is a pale blue color. So you let me know if you think the white is a good idea for this card. And in the meantime, I am going to stamp and then punch out the Santa. Let me just grab. Now I re-inked finally. I've been saying that my memento needed re-inking, and I have 2 pads. So yesterday, oh yeah, the cup of tea got onto my, luckily I didn't have any ink pads open on my desk, but this ink pad was closed, luckily, but you know, it's still kind of saturated underneath it. It ran all the way underneath my glass mat. I mean, it was just a big mess. And I immediately screamed for Phil to bring towels, and yeah, it was a big mess. So I have to really watch for that. Okay, what am I looking for? The stamp, of course. So let's ink this up in black. And then I've brought some blends markers to do some coloring. Now, I'm inking this up. Always when you have a punch, you want to ink it close to the edge. That didn't stamp very well. This is, I haven't used this set yet, so you know with photopolymer, you need to kind of condition it a little bit. So I kind of just ink it up and then I just rub it. Okay, let's try this again. Because ink tends to bead up on the photopolymer stamps. Okay, I'm going to flip this over. I'll just do it like that. Ah, much better. Much, much better. That's fine, Christine. Okay, so I've got some black here. So let's do his belt. I should have done the light black. Because you get better shading if I use the light with the dark. All right. And then I'm going to start with the light, a real red. I should have brought Poppy out instead of real red because the paper is got Poppy in it, but this will work. So have you guys made plans for Thanksgiving? Who's cooking a big turkey dinner? So another idea for stamping this snowman is you could stamp it in black on red cardstock. And then if you still have that puffy paint, that white puffy paint, you could then paint over the white bits. Okay. Oh, so he needs, oh, I didn't bring a color for his gloves. I guess we'll do black. I usually like to put green gloves on Santa. I don't know why, but I'll just do the black today. And I might do some Wink of Stella on his, oh, we've got to do his boots too in black. Look at that. He's so cute. Okay, so now we can punch him out. And then we're going to glue our strips on our card. All right, let's see. End of November, so not yet. We do cut our Christmas tree that weekend. Not sure yet who is cooking dinner. Our end of November, not sure yet. Oh, Carol, you ended up doing 2 of the same message. I don't know how that happened. Okay, so you have a really nice big border on this star. So you could then cut these stars out of, if you have any foil papers, any of the foil pattern papers, that would look really cool too. All right, so he's ready to go. I'm going to put him on dimensionals. So in the design, as it said, focal, whatever shape or size you want. So I'm doing this Santa shape. So you can do whatever you want. All right, let's get this on. Okay, so I am going to, okay, looks like, okay. Carol Ferguson, you said you like the white. Okay, let's do it on the white. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to not muck these up again. Okay, and I'm going to center this now on this line. So I count the square. That's not centered. I got to go over one, I think. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Perfect. Okay, make sure it's straight. Okay, and then I'm going to take the center strip and let me just grab my silicone mat. Let's make sure I've got this the right way. Okay, I'm going to grab my glue. Now, if you're nervous about putting these strips on straight, you could use Tombow. I'm making sure this is the right way for the pattern. So I'm making sure this is straight and finding the center. And going straight down. Okay, and then I'm going to put the 2 outside strips on. And depending on the width of your card, you can make these as wide or as narrow as you want. I think the pattern flows better if the strips are closer together. I love this striping on the back of this paper because it's not straight, it's kind of wiggly. Okay. Yeah, that looks great on the white, Carol. Okay, so your next option could be to emboss. So what do you guys think? Should I emboss this whole piece now or leave it the way it is? So I could emboss that. Now, they also have something like ribbon or linen thread or something tied around here. And the great thing is that when I tie things around the width of the card, I like to do a layer, because if you wrap this all the way around the card, then you see it on the inside of the card, and I don't like that personally. So I would do a layer and then I could tie it around. So here we have a layer. Okay, so I could easily take some ribbon and wrap it around. Now, I'm starting to use, all my retired ribbons. Otherwise they go to waste. So I'm just going to grab a red ribbon that I have here. I'm sure we have a current ribbon. And I don't have enough to go. I could just do one strip. And then the decision is, as in the template, this is in the bottom right-hand corner. But I could put this, up in the middle or down below. I could do it at the top, and I could even, if I wanted to, I could do a greeting at the bottom. I mean, there's no end to what you can do. So for example, wishing you a holly jolly Christmas, we could put a strip across the bottom, or just keep with the original design. Just put a bit of ribbon behind him. I think I'll just do a bit of ribbon. So what did you say about embossing? Anybody? The white looks great. Pops. I emboss the background of mine. Emboss. Carol says emboss too. I'm going to have to start calling you Carol F and Carol S. Emboss. Okay, let's emboss. Okay, let's grab. Let's see. Let's do now the decision is, which embossing folder do I do? Right? Let's do, gosh. Let's do, no, I don't want the eyelet. Let's do the exposed brick. No, let's not do that either. Distressed tile. Distressed tile is one of my favorites. Sure. Let's do distressed tile. Or I could do, yeah. Make a decision, Erica. Let's do distressed tile. So let's emboss this, and then let's put the ribbon on. Carol E is what your dad used to call you. I think I remember that. Carol E. I don't know why. He didn't have any other kids with the name Carol. Okay, I'm struggling opening my embossing folder. What's going on here? Oh, there we go. Okay. So we'll emboss this. Man, I'm getting cold. It's when I sit in the back of this craft room, it's because our garage is on the back wall here. I start to get really cold. So I have a heater that I'm going to turn on in a bit. If I need another coffee too. Okay. All right, so we've embossed this. So isn't this fun how you start with a design, something simple, and then you can do all kinds of things. Okay, so look at that. That's pretty cool. So I'm going to wrap this around the, I'm just going to put a bit of a bit of tape here and a bit of tape here, just so I can wrap the ribbon around. Make sure it's straight. Then I'll give it a snip. Okay, and then, as you know, I like to use a bit of Scotch tape just to make sure that ribbon doesn't, I don't know how it would come out, but it could. Okay, and then I'm just going to use Tombow. Yeah, this Tombow is almost out. I have to keep tapping it. Where's my other Tombow? Where's my other Tombow? Oh, it's way back here. What's it doing way back here? Okay. And then we can stick jolly old Saint Nick on here. And put him right here. And there you go. Now where's my Wink of Stella? This silly lid comes out as well. I'll just put some Wink of Stella on him. There we go. And there's our card for today. What do you guys think? Isn't that a great layout? So here's the first one I made. Just real simple, just the strips. I didn't line this up very well. See, my borders are a little offset a little bit, but from simple to stepped up are your two little cards. So that's your card for today. I will come live. Thursday night will be my last night because then we leave on our holiday. So I will come back on Thursday night to do a Case the Caddy. I think I have time for that. So we'll see you then. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, ladies, for joining. And where am I? There I am. Let's move this out of the way. Yeah, thanks for joining. So what do you think of my my grow out? I'm growing my gray. I'm getting pretty gray, ladies, underneath. I'm going to see my hairdresser tomorrow to get a few little highlights in there just to break it up just for our holidays. But other than that, I am going for it. So it's going to be quite the different look next year. Anyway, thanks again. I blabber on. I'm going to go make myself another coffee. You guys have a great week. And I will see you hopefully on Thursday night. Bye, ladies.